MSP references or records. So what's been going on? You guys had a great time in Austin, I heard.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was good. We did our first live webinar by ourselves last night.
Okay, awesome.
So that was it went really well.
Okay.
Will you show him our stats?
Yeah, let me screen share. Yeah, so we ran ads and things for a few days.
Uh-huh.
So I think we need to look at dialing in our registration page and then what we ran as ads and kind of figure that out. Because I think we did really, really well. We had 963 people go to the registration page, but only had 24 actual registrants. So, and then 6 live attendees.
Yeah.
And then I guess the replay got sent out today, and we've already had 2 people watch the replay, it looks like.
Awesome.
Our total broadcast length was 1 hour and 20 minutes, and the average time in the live room was 55 minutes, which is really good, I think.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you get to the meat of your content, and in around 45, you start to make the pitch.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was around 40. Well, it's probably around 50-ish. We made the pitch.
Yeah.
But we were so close to it. We had times up on our whiteboard. We were following our whiteboard.
Okay. Awesome.
So that went really, really good. I was really happy about that. And I don't know what this user rating thing is, but we've got 4.5 stars out of 2 ratings, whatever that means.
Cool. That means after the webinar, they get to rate the webinar, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Cool. We had a girl from our team on there, Georgiana, and she's seen a ton of webinars now, and she's like, you guys rocked it. So, I mean, it was a nice compliment. It was nice to know, because we had never done one live by ourselves. We've done evergreen webinars.
Yeah.
That we posted, and then we've been invited onto webinars, but that was our first one by ourselves. So that was pretty cool.
Cool. So a couple.
Retargeting. We want to retarget that 963 people.
Yeah.
With an evergreen replay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, have you done any of the webinar training inside of the back office at all?
I've got Steve Jaffe's course.
Okay. Yeah. So, and did you guys make any sales last night?
No.
Okay, cool. No, not cool, but we'll improve upon that. A couple things that I recommend based on the stats that you shared here. One, take some time and go back through Steve Jaffe's webinar course. And so for your next webinar, follow sort of his structure. I know it kind of can be a little bit overwhelming in terms of the multiple emails and stuff. But you'll see that your registrations as well as attendees go up by employing that. As it relates to one of the cool things about Facebook and running Facebook ads is although you had 936 people reach the registration page, you could take your ads and retarget them for the webinar so they show up or so they complete the registration. So I don't know if you had did you have tracking on your webinar? The codes and stuff in there? Okay, cool. Because then you can retarget them before the webinar starts and even,
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you can retarget them before the webinar starts or before, a couple days before with a reminder about the webinar, but also some of the Facebook Live videos you did leading up to the webinar, you can retarget them with content, which is cool.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Cool. I'll get Trello up.
I'll grab my computer.
Laptop. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we're going to make some notes of that. Yeah, we wanted to talk about a retargeting strategy, like what would be a good flow to do, because so here's what we were talking about doing. We want to continue doing the same webinar live, but we want to be able, we want to structure each one to hit a certain like pain point. Okay. And so pain point or hit a certain type of demographic mindset. Okay. And so like this one that ran last night, we had a structure of what we wanted to do in what order, with like the intro, our story, our individual stories, our story coming together, and then vision and passion, and then the 3 points that we were going to make during the webinar, followed by the sale. So we had that structure. So what we want to do is think about, okay, so for the future ones that we do, we want to have a structure built around a certain audience and certain pain points within that audience, so that we can do maybe 5 or 10 or 20 different webinars that focus on that with the way that we're speaking. And then we can retarget those specific audiences with that specific webinar. Is that a good idea? Or
no? Yeah, absolutely. Because you're leveraging, it's basically the same webinar, just speaking to a different audience. And the more you do it, the more you'll see things that are working and make adjustments. And then you can track, okay, look, for this webinar, we did this and we got this result. Let's continue doing that, right? Or we did this and got the result we didn't want. Let's not do that again, right? So I think having a webinar that you constantly improve until it's profitable.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
And then once it starts becoming profitable and having a consistent registration rate and a consistent watch time and stuff, then we start just pushing that particular one evergreen, or even continue doing live. We want to do maybe 1 or 2 live webinars a week. Now that we have this course out.
Yeah. And once you find the sweet spot and you find a webinar that works, again, automating it and just driving traffic to that webinar.
Okay.
And so you'll have the system in place where, okay, the webinar works. Now let's get the traffic going to that webinar. And now nice mug, man, you're awesome. Having traffic go into that webinar, and then having all the systems, right, the retargeting stuff, all happening seamlessly. So you really don't have to do anything but drive traffic, and the systems do the work for you. Does the work for you.
Perfect.
That's the idea.
So what do you think about us retargeting the people that made it to the registration page for now? Like just to like get people going to this webinar? Like 900 and something, what was it? 963 people visited the registration page. Yeah. So if 963 visited, I mean, that's a solid amount of people. Maybe the registration page just sucks. Or maybe it doesn't suck, but it needs to be better. Either copy or the photo or something. Can I look at that with you?
Well, the question I would have for you is, those people who reached the registration page, did they know you ahead of time?
Correct.
They did or no?
Did we page likes?
Were they your page? Your fans?
We did page likes and friends of page likes.
Okay.
Is where I played with my ads. They were page likes and friends of page likes.
So what I would do
I ran it to page likes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Friends of page likes, and then also audiences.
Which audiences? Your custom audiences?
We can go in there. No, it wasn't custom audiences. None of my custom audiences were big enough that I looked at to run anything to.
Okay. So what I would do, with people who visit the registration page, you're doing another webinar next Friday? Or when's your next webinar?
Potentially next Friday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Like if we start promoting for it, we could do it Tuesday.
Because what I would do is I would retarget those 900 people with content that leads them to something else, whether it's your lead magnet or the webinar. right? So you develop that, you're teaching them something for free, right? And they see you in their newsfeed, and you're giving them something of value, whether it's that lead magnet that leads to the course, or in that content, you're inviting them to register for the webinar again, the next webinar. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's how we target them. And then, people that actually were on the webinar, you had 24 people who actually were on the web or who registered for the webinar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would also,
They've got the email now with the replay.
Okay.
So what else would you do with them?
I would include them also. Well, they'll probably see it anyway. Never mind. I was gonna say I would include them in that retargeting of the content, but they'll be in that group of 900. So you're fine there. So nothing to do there. Did you have a deadline on the offer that you presented?
It was last night at midnight, but we're going to extend it till next Friday and say that, we've had so much interest. We've had, that we had to keep the price the same for only one more week. Is that a good idea?
1 week, 48 hours.
48 hours is better? Okay.
Yeah. Keep it short. 48 hours. And then, you have another webinar that's happening hopefully on Friday, right?
So if it's 48 hours, do we need to have a webinar within 48 hours? Like during that timeline, so that we can have the offer pop up with the countdown timer on it on the webinar as well, saying, hey, 48 hours is coming up?
No, I think that's just an email, right? Because the people that were on the webinar, people that registered for the webinar, you sent them the replay, right? Send them replay. Hopefully they watch the replay. You can say, hey, watch the replay. In 48 hours, it's coming down, and so is the price. The price is going up.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because it makes no sense I don't think it makes sense.
How much information? Sorry. How much information would you put in that email? Like, do you want to give benefits in the email of watching it? Like, how would you structure that email?
I would structure the email in a way that, one, obviously shares the value and the benefits of what you offered in terms of the offer on the webinar, not the webinar itself, but the offer, right? Because that's the sell. That's what you want to sell, not the replay, right? You can say, oh, by the way, the replay is still up. You got 48 hours to watch it, but the price goes up on this course here, and you're gonna miss out on this and all the cool bonuses if you don't take action.
Cool.
And you can do that. You could add in, one could be a story of, so you had someone that actually purchased the course. Have they gone through it? Have they set up their blog yet? Right. So you can share that story of someone who actually purchased the course and in 24 hours had their blog set up or whatever it was as a testimonial.
Yeah.
Right. So include that in one of the emails and say, hey, you got 24 hours, 48 hours, and it's coming down.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Here is the registration page that we use. And I couldn't pull up the live one because the webinar's already passed.
Mm-hmm.
But we just did it really, really simple. Obviously, this black bar wouldn't be at the top.
Yeah.
So we just had Be Adventure Partners Presents, how our blog allowed us to, let me minimize that. Quit our jobs, travel the world while launching a blog on your website, creates a money-making machine that operates even while you sleep, how you could get yours up and running today. And then join this event. And then this was a pic that we shot of ourselves with a little volcano in the background. And then we put just a blur on it just to kind of put them in the dream state, so to speak.
Yeah. So one thing about the registration page.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, cool, awesome. So Steve Jaffe talks about this in his course as well. Make it about them, like what they're going to be able to do at the end of this webinar. What's the unique selling proposition? What's the benefit for them? right? What are they going to learn? I mean, you have it here in the, the bottom here, how you can get yours up and running today, kind of, sort of. But tell them what the big benefit is for them for hopping on your webinar and sticking around to the end, right?
Okay.
So how you can create, the life of your dreams and travel the world with I'm just making this up, with a blog, right? By just creating a blog, right? But making it about them, the unique selling proposition, the benefit they're going to get by attending this webinar. Yeah.
So is the headline, is it good to have a headline that says how our blog allowed us to quit our jobs and travel the world, and then we go into, or is that not a good thing?
I think it has to be
about
how
them,
you
right?
could blog.
How you can create the ultimate, lifestyle of freedom through blogging and travel the world and quit your job and travel the world, right? So it's about them. Because really honest, nobody wants to hear your story.
Yeah, I know nobody wants to hear about us.
And that headline should speak to what they're going to be able to do after this webinar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can have it, you can have that as like the small text here, like a sub headline, how we were able to quit our jobs and travel the world from how our blog allowed us to quit our job. You can keep this here, but make it smaller.
Sub headline.
Yeah,
cool.
Sub headline.
Cool. What do you feel about the button text? Join this event. That was just the default that Webinar Jam put on there, and I was like, oh, let's try it. Register now. What's a good button for webinars?
Register now. Reserve your spot. Save your seat. Also include some scarcity. Right. This webinar only holds 50 people. Grab your spot now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think definitely going through Steve's course on like registration pages will certainly help beef this up some bit. And there's some pages inside of Webinar Jam, registration pages that convert better than others. So just look at that. They typically will have like the percentage of conversions roughly.
Yeah, this particular one was 40%, and it was I think there was only like 2 in there that was 40%, so we just picked one of that was the highest one.
Yeah. And so what was it? The thank you page just was a regular like thank you page?
Yeah, just the default thank you page. Like we didn't do anything to it.
Okay.
So
a couple
but
things. But
all that's part of dialing it in.
Yeah, a couple of things you could do, and I haven't tested this yet on in Webinar Jam, but imagine for a second, and you actually could do this, right? I would imagine you could. So I've done this in ClickFunnels, where, and this is all incorporating ManyChat as well. So, having the opt-in page, right? So the registration page, get into the thank you page, and then, having sort of a ManyChat growth tool where you can remind them in Messenger about the webinar as well. So if they get to the registration page and they click on that, they can be reminded in the ManyChat. The other thing is in your follow-up sequence. So once someone's registered, you have to, and Steve talks about this in his course, you got to continue to remind them about the webinar and get them to attend and show up. And so part of that is not just the Webinar Jam default reminder emails, but it's you guys, again, hitting them over the head about the benefits of this webinar, what they're going to learn, what they're going to get out of it. Maybe even sharing some training before they even get on the webinar, right? So maybe you did a Facebook Live video that shares some tips, and in one of your emails, you're saying, oh, by the way, commit to attend the webinar. We just recorded an awesome video that's going to share with you three ways to do X. And if you get them a result before the webinar, they're more likely to probably show up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's smart. I like that. And then what did you say about the follow-up sequence?
Yeah, so
ManyChat.
Yeah, so I mean, Yeah, one of the things I do with some of my webinars is I'll say on my my thank you page, can I remind you about the webinar in Messenger as well? So right before, so right before the webinar, maybe an hour or 2 hours before, I send a message to them, a broadcast message to them in ManyChat saying, don't forget, webinar starts an hour. And then when we're going live, I send another messenger message saying, hey, we're live now. Click here to join us. And you can even entice them with, if you stick around to the end, you're going to get a free something, right? To make sure they attend, like a free PDF Yeah, the
free PDF that we offered as the free gift, 5 of the 6 attendees downloaded it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good odds right there.
Yeah, it's a lead bait. They show up, they stick around to the end, and they hear the offer, and that's awesome.
Cool.
One thing we forgot to do, and I forgot to set up, was when the webinar ends, force them to the sales page. Mm-hmm. And I saw that functionality in there after the webinar was over. As soon as I clicked, I was like clicking through, and I was just like, shit, I forgot to put this in. Yeah. So there was still like 4 people on, so I put it in there and I clicked the button to see if it would work. Yeah. I didn't know if it would work or not.
Yeah, they added some cool stuff to webinar because that wasn't there before. You didn't have that capability before, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So let's.
So in the follow-up.
Yep. Go ahead.
Teaching. In the follow-up sequence, would you keep teaching them? Be like, hey, we also wrote this blog post about how to put together a blog that will allow you to travel full-time or whatever.
Yeah. So I think you mean after they register for the webinar. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, they'll get that. You want to create a thank you email that goes out automatically, right? Something from you guys, and then depending on how far you're out from the webinar, right? The date of the webinar. Let's say it's on a Friday. Steve recommends sending 3 emails every single day, and then 5 emails a day of the webinar, which I think you guys find the sweet spot of your audience, but those 3 emails can be, value-based, right? You can say, commit to attend your webinar on, Friday, October, 7th, whatever it is. On the webinar, you're going to learn X, Y, and Z. And then below say, we just recorded a training, or we just wrote a blog post that talks and shares with you X, Y, and Z. Click here to check it out. So that way you get people engaged in learning stuff before they even get on the webinar.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, this is the formula for when you launch your course too. So the fact that you're doing it now, you're setting yourselves up for an even bigger result when you launch the full course.
Yes.
And we just have to dial in, dial in the registration page, dial in the ad so we get registrants. How did the ad perform in terms of getting registrants for the webinar?
We'll go take a look. Let me click share.
I had one ad that was just humming along, and originally it was just like a yes, quick or say yes, and then last minute I changed it over to give them the registration link, and it did pretty good. But we turned them off. Are you in mine? I ended up turning mine off because I wanted to tweak them for retargeting.
Okay.
So the one, I have several that I ran. This is, let's see, 1, 2. I had 2 that I ran. And then I've run other ones just to get your blog on. So this particular one I ran as traffic.
Can you open that one up a bit? Yeah. Because I'm going to help you guys.
Where do I need?
I'm going to help you guys.
Ad set?
Yeah, ad set.
Just one of these? We can do both of them.
Yeah, that's fine. Because you guys are using the wrong objective.
Fuck.
So this one's going to the registration page, right?
Yes.
Okay. So remember, you're running clicks to website ad, right? This particular ad is going to be shown to people who are most likely to click on stuff to leave Facebook.
Yeah.
Not necessarily people who actually convert into leads. So the ad you wanted to select, if you go to create ad.
Oh, create ad in there?
Yeah, it just goes to create a new ad. No, create a new ad.
Where, right here?
Top. No.
Am I making a new campaign?
Yeah, create a new campaign. Yep.
Okay, let me start there.
Yeah. So you would go to conversions.
So I tried conversions and it was doing some stupid shit. And so maybe you can figure it out with us. And it wasn't allowing me to do it. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we didn't use it.
I remember you saying that conversions is for people who take action on the page. And so let's walk through this together because it wasn't allowing me to do it.
That's why I'm here. All right. So you give the ad to the name. What do you want to call it?
Want to do page likes? Get your blog on?
Well, it's a conversion. So, well, it's a conversion.
Should we run this to page likes?
You should run it to your fans first. Yeah. Okay. So now you want to select the conversion event, right? We want to get conversion. Click in that box there for registrations, or there's a lead. There's a bunch of stuff, but I would go with registrations.
This one?
I don't know what that is. Scroll down, actually. A little bit more. Let's go with complete registration.
Complete?
Yep.
Well, it's got a red dot. What does that mean?
That means it hasn't fired yet. So we're going to actually, if you can open the view pixel in a different window. You see where it says to optimize. So if you see where it says optimize for conversions, just open that link in a new window.
It's not letting me. I held down command.
Darn it. All right.
Well, it just did a pop-up. I can close this.
Yeah.
Close this?
Yeah, close that. We can come back to it. We'll come back to it. Don't worry about it. No, we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is what you would do. Select the conversion event. So you want registrations for your webinar, right? Scroll down. And you would just select your audience as before, as you would normally do. You would edit. Yep. You would edit placements. Typically I only do the news feeds. And I'll turn Instagram and all this stuff off for now.
So just news feeds. That's what we normally do.
Yep. Set your budget. Scroll down. I'm going to optimize for conversions and let it do. Facebook does its work. Leave it the way it is. Scroll down. Same thing. I'll scroll down, continue.
So conversion window, 7 days is what it's.
Yeah, 7 days. Like they're going to track. So if someone clicks your link, but doesn't convert right away, and they come back and click again and convert, they'll track that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is this one? After clicking or ad, 7 days click, or 1 day view?
So either they'll track if they view the ad but doesn't click, and they click again, they come back to it, they see it again, and they click, they'll track that as well.
So is this a better one to pick that?
It's 1 day. I mean, not much. Okay. To continue. And you would design the ad as before, right? And then you would put the link to the page where the opt-in page, right? So whatever the registration page was on Webinar Jam.
Yeah, I can't do that now because the page is expired.
That's fine, no worries. I just want to show you what you would do. Okay. So that's that. So if you open up the Pixel section here.
You want me to open it up in another window?
Yeah,
right there?
That's fine, yeah. And do you have a notepad where you can paste the code real quick?
Yep.
Okay. So go to your Pixel.
Details.
What pixel is this? Sorry, I missed that part.
This is just Brian Garcia Live.
Yeah. So go to Setup. Now you can create a custom conversion pixel, but I just go to Setup and grab the pixel code. And just copy that into a notepad. Oh no, okay. sorry. Is that the right code?
I've got it. Well, this is just the entire pixel for Facebook.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that works. All right. So go ahead and paste that into
Okay, go ahead.
Can you paste it into a notepad?
Yeah.
All right. Now go back to the pixel. Scroll. Where is go to where it says setup again. I'm looking for the other options. Where was that? I just saw it. Oh, actually, you know what? Go back to the second window there. That you're, with the ads manager that's open, the second window.
Okay.
Go back one slide. Page where it says view pixel. View
right
pixel.
Here?
Yep. Click on that. And click on see more. Scroll down. And where it says complete registration, you see the last column on the right where it says event code. Copy that.
Yeah.
Open that text file up again. And you see where it says FBQ track page view right above. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom.
Right here?
Yep, right after that. Leave that there. Hit enter and paste that code. So on that'll be fixed. It'll fix itself. On the thank you page of your registration of your webinar page, you're gonna paste this code on that page. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So that way, what Facebook will do is Facebook's going to track anyone who moves from the first page to the second page.
So where is
it would be under integrations, I think. Yep.
So so right here.
Yep. It would be for the thank you page.
Registration thing. Just for this one. Okay. I put the same pixel for all of these. because I didn't know what I needed to put.
Yeah. So basically that pixel's the default pixel for just page view. So you could target, I mean, you could certainly create an ad. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say you can track, you know, you can retarget people who visited those pages by using the URL. However, you wouldn't know if people actually converted into a lead based on that ad. So you were just running traffic to that first page, and people were seeing that page who were most likely to just click on websites. But with the conversion ad, you're actually getting people who are accustomed to registering for webinars, who are accustomed to becoming leads. So that's one small tweak that will certainly up your conversion numbers from 936 to, you know, more than 25 or whatever it was.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me make sure that we've got the correct tracking pixel for all of these. So registration page tracking, is that just the default pixel that we originally copied?
Yes, that's for page views. Yep.
Page views. Post registration, that's what we just did.
Yep.
So I understand that one.
So you would do that. Also, keep this in mind though. So the same will apply for any capture pages that you have. So the first one would be the page view type pixel with the code. The other one, the second page, the thank you page, would be the conversion pixel with the page view FQ, right? So that you can track conversions. Okay.
Okay.
Can you say that again so I can write that down, or will you remember that?
So the opt-in page, the first page, whether it's a lead magnet or registration page, that's always going to be the view page view content, that kind of FBQ tracking, right? The second page, if you want someone to convert, become a lead, register for something, buy something, whatever, you would add one of these codes here, lead or complete registration, so that Facebook tracks when that person moves from that first page to the second page. So the cool thing here,
Does the code always go in the same spot after page view?
Yeah. Yep. Because what you can do here, Yep.
Go ahead.
So the cool thing about this when you start to retarget people, if you move this over to the right, the text to the right, this box. So the cool thing about retargeting, so when you are getting people clicking on, you know, add to cart, initiate checkout, and they don't buy, you can then retarget them based on the action of the page that they landed on, and retarget them with, you know, let's say they added it to the cart but didn't complete the purchase. You can throw in, hey, here's a 10% discount or coupon, or, you know,
cart abandonment.
Exactly. Here's the product, you forgot to order your thing, right? Click here. So that's what you would do.
Sick.
Yeah, that's what you would do with the different event code tracking.
This is called event code tracking.
Yeah. You're just adding this.
I saw the view pixel code thing.
Yeah.
So
if you go to
on that,
actually, if you go back, you can find it in the pixels. Click on setup again.
Conversion. Setup.
No, that's tag manager. Manually install the code yourself. It should be here actually. Install the code yourself. Oh, add events, number 2. If you go up, scroll up actually, hit continue. Hit continue. At the bottom
here.
Yep. It should add.
So we just need to select which one we need, and it'll automatically add it to it. Yeah.
It's not going to automatically add it to it. You have to actually copy it and put it into the space where we just did.
Okay. And that code, we take it, and it always goes after page view semicolon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we only do one event based on what we're trying to track.
I mean, you could have. I mean, that one there has two. I mean, you could have 2 events there if you wanted to.
Okay.
Right. Maybe I would do 1 event, but yeah, it depends. You can have multiple events in there because you see, there's 2 events there. There's tracking the page view. There's tracking the registration.
Oh, there's 3. There's this INIT one also.
Well, that's just your Facebook Pixel ID.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh, this next webinar is going to be really, really good.
Yeah. And the thing about this too is, if you're doing a Facebook Live video or any kind of content and you want to get conversions, run a conversions ad. Okay, so think about the objective that you want your user to take. Right, so if you go back to the ads manager here, if you go back to creating the ad itself, right?
Okay.
So if you have
we would use existing.
Yeah, if you had a video and your call to action was for them to click on a link that's somewhere in your status somewhere, right? Right, whatever it is, you would run a conversions ad because you want them to click on that link versus watch the video versus comment.
So does the link need to be in the description or can it be in the comments also? Because like this one here, I did, let me go to desktop view so you see all of it.
Yeah.
So I said, claim your digital seat, the links in the comments, and then I pinned the link to the top of the comments. Would that work the same, or does that link need to be in here?
I think it would have to be in there, but scroll down a bit. I think you can add a call to action button on this as well. No, you can't.
No.
Yeah, so I would, if you're gonna do something like that, I would put it in the I would put it in the status up above there. That's what I would do.
In the description area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you were doing this video and the call to action was in the video and no place else, I would either run it for video views then, right? Because people were going to watch the video. If the call to action was to comment below, and you said comment below, I would have an engagement ad running to this because people who are most likely to engage, comment, whatever, they'll do that activity. So it's all about objective. What do you want the end user to do after consuming your content?
Cool.
Does that all make sense?
This is all coming together. Yes, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And the conversion pixel thing makes sense too at why it wasn't allowing me to run it, because I was trying to set it up, but it was saying, hey, you can't set this up because it's not configured right or something.
Yeah.
That's what it was missing then.
Yeah.
It wasn't finding the registration code.
Pixel. Yeah. That's what needs to, you need to have that because it's not going to fire. There was something I was going to say too.
Sweet.
Yeah, so the only difference between the traffic, the traffic and conversion objective is the conversion, people are going to take an action. The traffic, people are just going to a website and they'll consume content and not take any action. That's why it's cool if you do a blog post, something like that, and there are call to actions in your blog posts, right? Like links and, lead capture pages. I wouldn't run just a website ad to that blog post. I want people to actually who are going to click on stuff and convert. So I'm going to run a conversions ad to that blog post.
Because you're not wanting them just to go there. There's one more step. So you're going to still get the page view, but then now you're getting an action on the page.
Because that's what I want. I don't want people just to see the content. I want them actually to do something with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, this completely makes sense now.
Awesome.
It's only been, I don't know how many years.
Yeah, it's once you gotta wrap your head around Facebook's philosophy and sort of how advertising works for them. And that's what makes it a very powerful platform in terms of advertising, because you're targeting people who are most likely to take the action that you want.
Yeah.
And you actually maximize your ad spend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're using the ads properly, so to speak now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really awesome.
That's really, really cool.
Cool. All right. Have you guys been doing stuff to grow your audience? You still running that likes ad or engagement ad to build your audience? Just want to get a sense of where you guys are at with that.
We ran an engagement ad. It was like our story when we were at the event on the weekend. Mm-hmm. Brian ran fighter one, and I ran one about being a former hairstylist.
Okay.
And mine did really good. Too. It's at the top.
It's still going.
I turned mine off because I changed the CTA on it. But now, after hearing what you said about how these work, engagement wasn't really the objective of what I was trying to do. But I did get a ton of engagement.
Yeah. What was? Yep.
Go ahead.
What did you guys get in terms of likes from this? Because that was the goal, right? To get page likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
If you go to performance, because that'll tell us the cost, right? So engagement.
Is it engagement?
Yeah, it'll be engagement. And close to yep. So 17 page likes total. Some comments there.
Oh, there it is.
And then you can add in, a custom column that says how much you paid per page like. What I like to compare is, engagement versus page likes. Did I get cheaper likes from the engagement ad versus running a likes ad? And sometimes it depends. If you scroll down, for cost per like, it should say. Scroll down some more.
There it goes. Cost per page like up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I rearrange these a little bit so that they're all a little further over?
Yeah, you can.
So delivery.
You can move that up, and then just save it as a. Should be able to save it as a preset if you go on the bottom left. If you want to do that, and you just have to give it, apply. Is that should highlight? No. Yeah, and give it a name, and then hit apply.
Let's do that on mine.
So $1.68 per like. That's a bit high, and then no likes from the other one. Well, I guess
So this is going to page likes. So
yeah, it depends on what your objective was, right? Was your objective to build your audience with this ad, or was your objective to get engagement on this ad?
This one was engagement specifically.
Okay, so you didn't want page likes from it.
Yeah.
So we need cost per engagement up there instead.
Yeah, that'll be in the first column actually. If you go back to the campaign. That'll be here. Well, nope, no, won't be there. Just change the columns. Change the drop down to performance. It'll give you back the original default. So for this ad, you're going for it. Yeah, for this ad, you're going for engagement only. Yeah, primarily, and the likes were like a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually got a ton of invites on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
There were a lot of invites, weren't there?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people commenting too.
So in the past week, we had a total of. And we can pull up your ads also.
Yeah.
We've had 109 new likes this week.
We're going back up.
Our send message button has been the highest ever. We're up to 5. Previously, I think 3 has been our highest. Mm-hmm. And then post reach, we've hovered around 35,000 in the past. This last week, we were down to like 5,000, but we're back up to 21. So that's getting back up there.
Yeah.
Means our
and I think that the main reason why it went down is because this past week and a half, 2 weeks, we've been so focused on recording and putting Kajabi together, getting Stripe set up, being on the phone with the lawyers and the CPAs. So it's been a lot of like administrative shit. So we haven't been in our community providing the value that we wanted, because we're all like, okay, we could either stretch out the time that it takes us to launch this, or we could neglect the community for a little bit so that we could power this through, so that we can start offering this product and we can tweak it along the way. So I think for the next, 3 months, whatever, we're going to be so heavy on building content, because now we have something to offer them. And in the meantime, also, we'll set a schedule for, okay, this amount of hours per day, we'll focus on building our next course and not push ourselves too hard on that, because now we've got 3 things on our website to offer people. That is Be Adventure Partner specific. Is that a good plan, like long-term plan?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great plan. One of the things I was going to say is, with the lead magnet you guys have to offer, do you find that when you were doing content that people were actually opting in to get the lead magnet?
I think they're opting in more now.
Okay. Because one of the things we could do, if you want, depends on what your appetite is right now for generating more leads and having conversations with people, or moving them to something for sale, right? What we could do is set up a lead generation ad that gives away that lead magnet to your audience.
Okay.
Have you done a lead gen before?
I tried it once, and I say I tried it. I actually launched it and everything, but the lead cost was like $3 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And so I was all like, I don't think I'm doing this right. So, but yeah, I'm open to getting something like that set up, and we can actually do it to our big ebook, the 30-pager. That we charge on the website for, but when we run ads, we give it away for free, and it's a 30-page ebook on how to build a profitable blog that travels with you.
Okay. And do you think that's something that your audience would want?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They need it. They for sure, like, a lot of people ask us all the time how to build a blog, and this breaks it down from like the baby phase up until making it pretty.
And then it also sells Get Your Blog On. And then it also has a mention of Ultimate Location Independence Pro. So if they ever went to that URL, ultimatelecationindependencepro.com, then we've got just a capture page set up that is hooked up to a ManyChat ref URL.
Okay.
Yep.
So
we've got a little in there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you have that set? How large is that file, though? Is it a large file, that PDF, that ebook?
No, it's small. Let's see. 1.6 megs.
That's not too bad. Someone can download that on their phone, right?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can upload it to ManyChat, which is how we've been
delivering it. Okay. So what I would recommend, we can test this out and seeing, because I want to get you generating some leads as well, so that you have people to talk to and people to go through a sequence and start making sales inside of MLSP and inside of your course. So setting up this lead gen ad, if you go to, I think there might be a training on how to set this up, but create a new campaign.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So you would create the campaign, right? Regular campaign, go to lead generation. You would set up a form, hit continue, give it a name, whatever. I was thinking, so here's what I was thinking, right? So you create the lead gen, the ad and the form, and then they will get the lead magnet inside of ManyChat, right? So they go through, they get the lead magnet, they get that sequence. And now you also have their phone number as well. So you can reach out to them through phone and also email. So
cool.
So if we can quickly set up an ad here, and you can actually refine it later.
Yeah, let's run through it.
Yeah. So just select an audience that you're going to target. Your fans. I would start with your fans first. This is only going to, and you can do this. Let's do this only on Facebook for now. In terms of placements, I was going to say let's do Instagram, but let's just do Facebook. And only in newsfeed. Because,
Our Instagram sucks.
Okay, no worries.
Well, it's not our focus. It's not our focus.
Yeah, totally. Set a budget.
I'm going to edit this real quick and just change the age range.
Yeah, we're 24 to 44, we decided, after looking at all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, after looking at the breakdown, how you showed us how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna update it, actually. I don't want to. I want to continue saving it as the same. Okay, cool. Just updated that.
Yep.
24.
Set your budget.
Budget. We'll just throw 5 on there for right now.
Leave that the way it is. Continue. And you would design your ad as you would. Have some text there, display link, all that good stuff there. But the point I want to hit on, not point, but the area I want you to look at is we scroll further down and just hit, we see where it says lead form. This is where you're going to define your form. So we can either duplicate a new form or create a new one. If you have one already, we can create a new one. Unless you want to use this one. Which one is this? Oh, that's fine.
Let me hold on. So this is the one that I tried. Watch how to build your biz online and stop chasing people. Learn how to build an audience of loyal followers. Learn how to engage your audience. Learn how to sell to your audience. Learn the what. I think that's messed up. What causes people to like you? Learn how to attract the perfect distributor customer.
Yep. Let's create a new form.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. So, you want to speak to benefit of what they're going to get. So, give the form a name if you want to do that. But you want to speak to benefit in the headline, right? So download your free guide that's going to show you how to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. How to build a blog. Just say download your free guide now. You don't have to make much text, right? Download your free guide now. You can spruce that up a bit so it speaks to some benefit, and then tell people a little bit about in the layout section what they can expect. Discover how through blogging you can create a lifestyle, a free lifestyle, whatever, and travel the world and live happily ever after, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about this too here, so button text could be, download now or get instant access, whatever now, it's fine. The cool thing about these forms is you can ask questions. So if you hit the questions section here, you can ask for email, phone number, email, click show more options. So email, phone number, I do email, phone number because it comes from Facebook. And then I'll ask them questions typically. So when I was doing this ad with some other clients where they were selling MLSP, I asked them questions about, their lead generation, how much money they budgeted for marketing. I asked them if they were building a business opportunity at the current moment. So you can have questions here, not necessarily a necessity, but something good to, to get some insight on in terms of who are actually, opting in. Do you currently have a blog, right? How much, yes, no. How much have you, how much do you have budgeted for starting your blog, right? Just hit add custom. What are you looking to do? Hit enter.
Well, it says I do hit enter and nothing happens.
Delete it. Hit yes. Type yes, and then click the box that shows up.
Ah, there it goes.
Yeah. You can say I want one as the other option.
Yeah. Funny.
Or I need one. I need one. The raised hand said I need one.
So what was the next one? Add a question?
Yeah. They had a short answer here.
So conditional is based on what their answer was to the previous question?
Yeah. Quick, I think you can only have 3 questions though, so be mindful of that.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you can only have.
We basically want to get out of if they have a blog, how much they're willing to spend, and we need to kind of sift through people, I guess, or maybe what is your niche?
Yeah, I think you want to know how much people have to spend on a blog, so you can direct them down the right path. So if you want, people to come into MLSP, that starting price tag is $150, right? So, what's your monthly budget for what's your monthly budget for marketing and blogging, whatever? Let's say that. Right? So you can say 150 to, 250. You could say.
Do we need to have a zero amount?
No, I don't do zero amounts.
Okay.
Because if they have no money, then they can't talk to you.
Yes.
I mean, you're gonna give them a free blog.
Yeah.
250 to 500, and you can do 500 plus. I mean, what's your highest course is going to be what, 1,500?
Probably 1,500.
Well, at least for what we're offering with Get Your Blog On, it's $850 or something is probably the max they would spend with coaching and everything.
So let's say 500 plus then for now as a starting point. Right? Those 3 options. So you're weeding out people who don't have any money. And we say monthly here because they are thinking of it as a monthly business expense, right? So if I don't have $150 a month for marketing and blogging, your assistant, your help may not be for me, right? But if someone has $500 a month for marketing and blogging, that's a potential coaching client right there.
Cool.
I like that.
Yep. And you can leave it right there. That's it. If you want to add another question, you can. I don't know what to ask there, but yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, no, we're looking for one.
I've been trying to figure it out, or I've been looking for one.
Yeah, been looking for one. Yeah. Because then you can say, you know, hey, I might be able to help you with that.
Cool. I like that.
Then you had a privacy policy. I just grabbed one off my website, you know, whatever that link is. Don't need any text there. Just put the link.
Okay.
And then the thank. Oh, we didn't get to the.
I was just gonna grab a link to throw it in there.
Yeah. Another tip about your webinar too. In ManyChat for your blog, if you have a webinar that's coming up, do a takeover of your website. So as people come to your website and you know they exit or they stay around for a few moments, have a pop-up come up that says, you know, webinar happening this Friday. Click here to register. Another tip. Another quick tip. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so privacy policies.
Yep. And then you just put the link in there for ManyChat for the growth tool that will give them the ebook.
Right here?
Right there.
Okay.
And you can change the button text to say, you know, access your ebook here. Something like that. Or download it now. I don't know. And you can even say in the description box here, you know, your info has been sent to Be a Mentor partners, and your ebook will arrive in Facebook Messenger. So the cool thing about this is they're not leaving Messenger, they're not leaving Facebook, right? Everything's being sent here, and you're actually capturing their data for your email list, so you can continue to market them in various channels.
Cool. So does this form collect their data right in Facebook, or does it send them somewhere?
It's it's actually pre-populated with Facebook data. So whatever they added as their email address, whatever they added as their phone number, is populated in the form automatically. And then the questions they'll have to answer manually, and it's sent to you in a CSV sort of Excel spreadsheet that you can download from Facebook.
Cool. That's awesome.
So I'm just going to grab any growth tool.
Yeah.
I know that we'll have it customized, but just to kind of finish this process.
Okay. Yeah. And then
let's see.
I got to go ahead and grab my charger real quick. Give me 1 second.
Go do it.
Yeah.
This is fucking sick.
Yeah.
All right. And that's
all right. So
you can hit finish.
Growth ref URL right here.
Yep. If you hit finish at the top there, everything is good there. And then what you can do is if you scroll down, and we can confirm it and then stop it. But confirm, and I'll show you.
And we'll just go turn it off.
Yeah. And then hit continue. And then just go to the you go to the ads, the ad level. And then hit preview. And we can edit that later. Just click on the view in your Facebook post with comments. And you'll see how it looks on, you hit sign up, or that should say download, but we can change that.
So we need to update that.
Yeah, this is what it looks
cool.
like
here. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Oh, and it pre-populates. Look at that.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so cool.
So they've got the opportunity to change that information if they want.
Yeah, if it's incorrect.
And this works great on mobile.
Yep. And when they hit submit, right, it'll take them to the thank you page. Yeah, you can do all that. And then they hit exit your download, take it straight to Messenger,
Nice.
and they'll get whatever it is you promised them.
Woo! Bam!
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks for showing us that.
Absolutely. I'll probably do a bonus video in the bot course to share this because it's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Super cool.
But yeah, I would. So yeah, definitely pause this ad, but definitely set this up so you can start generating leads for your ebook, and then seeing connecting with people and directing them down a path where you can sell something.
Love it.
Cool. We're gonna set this up today.
Yeah. So yeah,
that we have something for it.
Yeah. So you got a lot going on, a lot to do, but this is fun, right?
Oh, it's so fun.
This is cool. And what's cool also is that we're finally in a money-making position for Be Adventure Partners for our specific business model that we're developing. Mm-hmm. And so, which includes MLSP, which includes for instance, we're affiliates of yours. And so do we need to create a ManyChat training? Absolutely not, because you've already done that. Do we need to create marketing training? Absolutely not. But our brand for bringing people's ideas, that's where we excel is showing people how this all fits together, which this is perfect. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, we so appreciate you. You're so fucking badass.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we got some stuff to do. So continue growing your audience. Make those tweaks for the webinar. You do those things, and you'll that one tweak with the ad, just switching from a clicks to website ad to a registration ad will get your numbers to go up there. And then perfecting the webinar. Definitely go through Steve's course again, and just follow it to the T. Right? Follow it to the T from the number of emails he sends out to the webinar structure, and then pare it back a bit for your audience. Because, sometimes getting 3 emails every single day from someone can be a bit annoying, but you don't know, right? But test it out.
Cool.
All right. If you guys have any questions throughout definitely the week, just reach out to me, okay?
Cool. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
You're very welcome. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
All right,
have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.